It's been great. This is our third festival, and we've been building and building each year, and there's a general feeling that this might be the best yet, for a whole host of reasons, but basically we've had big audiences. We've packed out our halls and our venues each time, and there's been a lot of new music this year, which can always be a bit of a risk, of course. People are coming and hearing music they don't know, but they've turned out in their droves and have been very appreciative and listened with open ears. Well, we're very committed to bringing on music and musicians in this area. For example, we have now a very close connection, a working connection with the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, and in fact they came down and did a concert yesterday. They performed, the new music group performed at the festival 6 brand new pieces by composers at the RCS. One of them was an Ayrshire composer, and we've been very keen to commission young composers in the area. For the first 2 years we commissioned new works from Jay Capero, who comes from New Cumnock, and he was one of the top students to come out of the RCS composing course in recent times. Next year we've commissioned a local composer from Auchinleck to write a guitar concerto. And this year, of course, we have Scott Lygate, who's originally from Irvine, and is not just a great composer, but actually a brilliant young clarinetist. He's 26 and he's become a specialist in the low instruments of the family. That's the bass clarinet and today the contrabass clarinet, and we're giving him a spot, a 20-minute mini recital here at Dumfries House, where he'll play solo contrabass clarinet music. So as well as that, we're working in schools all the time. We ran a composers course last year for higher and advanced higher students in East Ayrshire schools, Cumnock and Kilmarnock mainly. And we work with special needs children and adults in a long-term project with Drake Music Scotland, proving, I think, that there is no barrier to not just the enjoyment of music, but the making of music. We started at a very high level. Our very first concert was given by the 16, who are generally regarded as one of the great choirs of the world. So the feeling was that you might have, well, how could we go higher than that? But the calibre of the musicians year on year have been extremely high. Nicola Benedetti, for example, is our patron, and she played it the first year, and then she gave a concert with her trio here on Friday night, and that concert sold out within days of the tickets going on sale. So we're continually looking for the top musicians in the world to come, and I have some very exciting people who have agreed to come next year, the year after, and we're planning 19, 20, 21 now. But as well as that, as well as the top musicians, it's important that the people in Cumnock and Auchinleck and the surrounding villages feel a sense of ownership of this. Not just coming to the concerts as audience, but actually participating in various ways. For example, we formed a festival chorus who have performed this festival and last, and it's made up of volunteers, unauditioned singers from the area. They're from Ayr, Kilmarnock, Cumnock, come over the border from Lanarkshire, some of them. That is a very important feature, and to have them perform alongside these wonderful artists, conducted by the likes of Eamon Dugan, who's one of the great choral trainers in the world, makes us, I think, a very, very special festival. Yes, well, Mark Bennett is a local lad. He's from Cumnock itself. He's an ex-pupil of St Joseph's in Kilmarnock, and he's become Cumnock's own Olympian. He won a silver medal at this year's Olympics in Rio. As a rugby player, he played in the rugby sevens team. He plays for Scotland. He scores tries for Scotland at Twickenham, and he's a general good guy. He used to play rugby with my son. My son remembers him when they were teenagers. My son's a rugby enthusiast as well. So when he reached this pinnacle, maybe one of the great Scottish rugby players in recent times, the town is rightly proud of him, and I thought it was only right that the festival and myself honoured him in some way. So I've written this piece for contrabass clarinet, simply called Bennett, with an exclamation mark after it, and that gets its first performance today in Scott Lygate's mini recital. Well, I come from Cumnock originally. I grew up here. I went to school here. My wife was from Cumnock. We met at school at Cumnock Academy. I became a musician because of Cumnock, because of the people I played with and worked with, friends, teachers, relatives and so on. So I remember Cumnock as a place where a lot of music was appreciated. My grandfather was a coal miner, but he lived for music. He was a euphonium player and played in the local colliery bands and sung in his church choir. So I remember that desire for music here. And when it came, well, I'm getting on, so I decided that it was time to maybe think about a festival. There was a split-second thought about where I might put it, and it needed to be in a place that was important to me, that meant a lot to me, and my friends and relatives, and that was Cumnock.